ICDA member, one of the senior artists today. So we are really happy to welcome all members who have joined for this program, for the lecture demonstration of Dr. Kalarani Ramachandran and her new book. And before I officially welcome her, I would like to say a few sentences about Indian Classical Dancers Association, about which many of you might know. But for the newcomers, I would like to brief you that ICDA is an organization for the promotion of classical dances and dancers. And we have got around 18,000 members in the Facebook page and 1,700 members in the WhatsApp group. We have got members in every city in India and every country in India. So the objective is to unite together, to help together, to assist each other, to guide each other, and to organize various events, offline and online. And ICDA had been organizing so many programs like competition, festival, workshop, lecture demonstration, and even we organized an international quiz competition in association with the leading organization Pretnam 2 weeks back. So we are having a lot of other projects coming up, and we would like to have new members coming to the joining the organization. There is no other formality. Just give your number in the chat box. You will be added in the group, so there is no problem. So just give your mobile numbers in the chat box to become a member of ICDA. So on behalf of ICDA, I would like to welcome today Dr. Kalarani Ramachandran, who is one of the veteran Bharatanatyam artists and who had been in the field for nearly 50 years. And he has published 4 books. And now we have the proud moment of releasing a new book. And Madam, on behalf of the association and on behalf of all who are present, I would like to welcome you to this program.
Thank you so much.
And may I introduce our host, Lavanya Shivaram, who is her disciple, who is hosting from USA, and even sitting miles together. She has a disciple. She feels that it is a duty to host this program. And so, Lavanya, I am introducing you, and I request you to officially introduce Dr. Kalarani Ramachandran.
Sure, sir. So, ma'am needs no introduction. She is not a new face. She and this agenda for this evening is jam-packed with so many introductions and talks. So I'd like to share my presentation real quick, and I'd like to pass it on to ma'am for launching of the book. 1 minute, I'm just sharing screen. So, as the agenda topic for the day, we have is the first book launch. So I'd like to request ma'am to officially launch the book and talk a few words.
Thank you, Lavanya. So, I officially so this is the book. And, Gurubhyo Namaha. Good evening, everybody. With the grace of God and blessings of my parents and Guru, I am happy to launch my book, Dance Dramas of Tanjore, AD 16th to 19th century. First and foremost, I would like to thank Guru Shri C.V. Chandrasekhar sir for consenting to write the foreword for this book. I am very fortunate to have his blessings. I am very happy to launch my book in the August forum like ICDA. The The main purpose of this book was to collect as much information as possible about our traditional dance drama culture in Tamil Nadu and compile it in one book. Last year, this book, written by me, was funded and published by Isai Nadaka Mandram in the Tamil title, Tanjai Mannargal Valartha Natya Nadakangal. I translated and added more information in this book for the benefit of the wide range of readers in English. As I was doing research to this book, I came across so many information. I was so thrilled, and I'm very fortunate to have taken up this project and successfully finished it. The performing artists can choose from the varieties of dance dramas given in this book. A list of 100 Kuravanjis are given in the appendix. The research scholars will have various topics in the book to elaborate on that. So let's see what is in the book. All of us like to hear stories at all age. Any information, good, bad, moral ethics, God, heroic deeds, if told through juicy stories, it reaches the audience in a very effective way. Art of storytelling is not new to India. This has been there from the ancient Indian culture. This art has taken many dimensions over the centuries and multiplied into various arts like Katha Kalakshepam, Pravachanams, dramas, dance dramas, Terukuthu, puppet show, and many more. With the regional variations, it had new names and form in different regions in India. The most aesthetic mode of presenting a story is through the visual media. Hence, dance dramas have become very popular all over India and all over the world, I would say. According to ancient texts in India, drama is always addressed as Natya. Natya means music, dance, and drama together. The dance form Natya or drama is a society art. It is a comprehensive art and a cooperative art. Natya was intended to uplift the low and show them the right path while providing an enjoyable entertainment with the teachings of righteousness. It is accepted as a society art. Natya needs a script, and its presentation involves several allied arts and crafts like literature, histrionic expressions, dance, vocal, instrumental music, painting, sculpture, and architecture. So Natya is a comprehensive art. The total success achieved by the play production is through the efforts of the author, director, and his assistants, the actors, the actresses, the artisans, the responsive encouragement from the audience, and the grace of God. Hence, it is a cooperative art. Bharata in Natya Shastra writes the origin of the drama or Natya in a combination of historical and mythological story. People at the beginning of Treta Yuga were leading a mixed life of miseries and happiness, subjecting themselves to lust, greed, rancor, and miserliness. The rulers of the Lokapalas, that is the rulers of the universe, appalled and wanted to inculcate just and righteous way of life to the people. Indra and other gods approached the creator Brahma and requested him to create the fifth Veda. Why? Because some of the people were denied the privilege of learning the four Vedas. Brahma meditated and created the fifth Veda. This was for everybody. This was the Natya Veda, which was instructive, enjoyable, with stories from history and legends. Brahma taught this Natya Veda to Bharata. He in turn taught through his sons and disciples. They decided to stage a drama now to the Devas and Asuras. The audience were the Devas and Asuras. The celestial Apsaras joined the group to perform the Kaishiki Vritti. Kaishiki Vrittis are the stylized dance in between the drama. Sages, Swati, Narada, and the Gandharvas joined the team of orchestra. All of them created a beautiful play called Asura Parajay, the defeat of the demons, and performed in an open-air theatre. The demons were offended since the theme was depicting the destruction of the Asuras. Obviously, they became very angry, created a big havoc, and stopped the play. They complained to Brahma about their plight. Brahma explained, I have created Natya with ideas and ideologies to promote peace of mind and to give enjoyment to people who ever watch, not give misery to them. Now they all decide together. After the flop of the preliminary drama, the production team attained perfection. Brahma and Bharata decided to present this play in the presence of Lord Shiva with a backdrop of the snow-clad mountains in the Kailash. They presented the perfect play named Amrita Mantanam. The Lord was pleased and said, well, it's a very good play, but improvements could be made by incorporating more nritta in the pre-preparational rituals. On the instruction of Shiva, Thandu taught nritta or Tandava to Bharata, comprising of Karanas, Angaharas, Rechakas, etc. This time, Bharata requested Vishwakarma to build an auditorium to stage the play. The play Amrita Mantana was staged in the new auditorium on the auspicious occasion. The audience were Devas and Asuras. All of them enjoyed the play and it was a great success. Bharata later created many plays, casting a lot of men, women, children, everybody participated. Now, Indian drama gives utmost scope to imagination. The actors communicated with positive efforts by evoking sentiments, rasas, in the spectators through suggestive use of colorful costumes, makeup of the actors, and the concept of the four abhinayas, namely Angika, Vachika, Aharya, and Satvika Abhinaya. Dance dramas performed all over India followed the concept of drama described in Natya Shastra. For example, Sutradhara, the conductor of the drama or the storyteller, will first appear on the stage and narrate the synopsis of the story and then introduce all the characters in the play. This was followed by all the forms of Indian dramas all over India. This was a pan-Indian. In India, there have been ample dance dramas in different regions adhering to their regional flavor. The tales about religious legends and gods relating to Rama, Krishna, and Shiva continued to provide the poets plots for their drama. These popular dramas in India were staged in holy places during festivals. Now coming to South India, we get records about dance dramas performed from the Sangam age, then the reigns of Pallavas, Pandyas, Cholas, and so on. The plays like Mattavilasa Prakaranam, Rajarajeshwara Natakam, Pumbuliyur Natakam, and many more are mentioned in the inscriptions. Now later, when the Nayaks established their rule in Tanjore, they brought many artists well-versed in music, dance, and another form of art called Yakshikana. The interaction between the Tamil and Telugu culture gave rise to many new forms in this art field. The Maratha rulers The Maratha rule which followed offered a peaceful atmosphere for the art to grow and nourish. They left behind for the generations a scientific base of music, dance, and dance drama tradition, transcending the barriers of language. During the period of Nayaks and Marathas, the dance dramas blossomed in Tanjore with many petals, namely Yakshaganas, Bhagavatamelas, Gayanatakas, Drishyakavyas, Nirupanas, and so on. These dramas had their distinct feature in their repertoire. The Tamil dance dramas, Kuravanjis and Terukuthus, were already popular in the Tamil land. Terukuthus became part of the folk variety. Apart from Tamil Kuravanjis, there were Telugu and Marathi Kuravanjis composed during this period. To enhance these dance dramas, the musical forms are very important. So the musical forms like Prabandhams, Darus, Sharanu, Padyams, Padams, Ananda Kalipu, Churnika, so many of them. And all these enhance the dance drama with their musical flavor. I have devoted a complete chapter and explained in detail about the history and varieties of the musical forms like Prabandhams, Padyams, and many more, which make the dance drama very interesting. In the text Sangeeta Sudha, it states that King Raghunatha Nayak and Vijayaraghavan Nayak wrote many Yakshaganas and dance dramas to be enacted in the court. They were court poets as well, who composed to their credit many plays. Now, during this time, the plays were given titles like Vilasam, Kalyanam, Vijayam, etc. For example, Bhuloga Devendra Vilasam, Kaveri Kalyanam. The dance dramas with the title Vilasam, when it comes as Vilasam, it explains the good qualities of the heroic deeds and of the hero of the play. The dance dramas with the title Kalyanam beautifully describe the wedding celebrations of the hero and the heroine. Some Tamil dance dramas have, like Sutradhari and Vidushaka, together they have a character called Kattiyakaran in Tamil dance dramas, who will act sometimes as Sutradhari and as Vidushaka as well. The stories in these natakas are very simple narrations, but the temple rituals, wedding rituals, the description of the nature are all very elaborately said and in verses and songs. This gives a picture of many events and traditions prevailing during that period. This style of narrating play is common in all the natakas. Through this, we can really explore what language they were talking, or what kind of music, and so many things. As we go, we will see that what all things will be revealed by this. In one Nataka, at the end of the play, the Sutradhara explains that the auspicious things like kumkum, bangles, blouse pieces were given to all the ladies who attended the play. Nice way of attracting crowd. I think we should also follow this. In the book, I have explained the stories of the dance dramas, in short, composed in 3 languages, Tamil, Telugu, and Marathi. This gives an idea. Of course, these are known stories in that, but this gives an idea to understand how the composer treated the known story in different ways in the play. The very important play which was introduced during this time was the Bhagavatam Nataka. This style of presenting natakas were first introduced in Tamil Nadu during the period of Tanjore Nayaks. It developed its technique and flourished during the Maratha period. Till the present day, it maintains its antiquity, grandeur, presentation, and technique. Main villages that conducted Bhagavata Mela now, in those days were Melatur, Utukadu, Teperamannallur, Sulamangalam, Salyamangalam, and so on. Presently, these traditional natakas are performed yearly once in Melatur, Salyamangalam, and Teperamannallur. Although the story content is similar, the variation in dance presentation, storyline, costumes, mask of Lord Narsimha makes the present-day Bhagavatamela Natakas very unique and noteworthy. The next spectacular dance drama which came to Tamil Nadu from Andhra is Yakshikana. Very popular among the audience during the Nayaks and Maratha period. It is a traditional, popular and artistic dance form which encompasses music, dance, dialogue, direction and stage decoration. When the Nayak rule was established in Tanjore, many art forms accompanied. Yakshagana is one among them. During the Nayak period in Tanjore, any dance drama with Bhakti Rasa was called as Yakshikana because they were danced by the Bhagavatas as well. From the play Sugriva Vijayam, written by Kandukuru Rudrakavi in 16th century, we understand that the classical Carnatic ragas and talas were used in the Yakshagana plays of Andhra. Usually in today's scenario, when we say Yakshagana, that means it's like a folk and classical combined, which is done in Karnataka region. But this is the Andhra Yakshagana. The same format which was followed in Andhra was adapted by the composers of Yakshaganas in Tanjore as well. Over the time, they introduced many new popular ragas and talas, and they gave importance to Aharya Abhinaya also. The musical forms like Davalam, Ragada, Ardhachandrika were all very much part of the play during the Nayak period. They slowly vanished, and the musical form Daru took prominent place in these dance dramas during the Maratha period. The Maratha kings have written lots of Yakshaganas. King Shahaji patronized Yakshaganas in Tamil, Telugu, and Marathi with novel themes like Ganga Kaveri Samvadam, then Panchabhasha Vilasa. This play is written in 5 languages. So there are many Yakshaganas and dance dramas written by the kings also. The next is the Kuravanji. Kuravanji dance dramas and dances are very indigenous traditional art form of Tamil Nadu. The history of this art can be traced to 2nd century BC. The style of narrating the story and its music have a very unique style and tradition. In the story of these natakas, the spiritual and the mundane love is portrayed. The character Kuravanji acts as a bridge between the two varieties of Shringara Rasa. To enhance the storyline, the music and dance is aptly composed. Like for the first part of Kuravanji, Carnatic ragas are used to describe the spiritual love, while the second half of the play is set to folk tune and dance. This has been the tradition of the play. All through the play, music, songs, and tunes have a predominant place more than dialogues. Even whenever there is dialogue, it is always said with the tune. These natakas were beyond entertainment level. They educated the people about geography, local medicines, music, musical instruments, and nature, and its resources in simple language. During the Maratha period, the Kuravanji dance dramas improved to perfection and became very popular. During the 18th and 19th centuries, many Kuravanjis were composed and performed by the Sangeeta Melam group. This Nataka became a powerful media to reach out to the people. Hence, moral messages, religious and judicial messages were also incorporated without spoiling the main theme. Although initially these Natakas were based on religious gods, the trend changed and some Kuravanjis were written also on the heroes and warriors. These Kuravanjis went through a lot of changes in the format of the songs. For example, during the time of Nayaks, it had more of Hela Padams, Viruttams, and Darus. The Kuravanjis of Maratha period had incorporated lots of Sollukattus, varieties of Darus, Jakkini Daru, Tillana, and so on. The dialects of the common people of that period became the dialogue in the Kuravanji Natakas. And these dialogues were tuned to beautiful tunes like folk tunes. The dialogues in Kannada, Tamil, and Telugu were more colloquial in line with the local scenario. Some Kuravanjis are so very popular. I would like to say an interesting episode which happened in Thiruvarur. In Thiruvarur, Tyagesar Kuravanji used to be performed for 3 consecutive nights during the festival time. The songs from this Kuravanji are very, very popular. So whenever there was no Kuravanji drama program or performed, the Devaradiyars used to stand near the Sanctum Sanctorum. There used to be a window, and they used to stand there and sing the song Vasalidu Vasalidu in Nadanama Kriya. So this window came to be called as Tennavasal. The dancers attached to Thiruvarur temple annually danced this Kuravanji till the beginning of the 20th century. It was a very, very popular Kuravanji dance drama. The next most important one, a landmark I would say, by the Marathas, is the Gaya Natakas by King Shahaji. For the first time, he introduced a novel dance drama format called Gaya Natakas. There are 2 types in Gaya Natakas. One is Gaya Nataka and another one is Gaya Charitra. Gaya Natakas were instrumental for many musical forms to emerge. King Shahaji, in his style, has composed 4 Natakas, namely Shankara Pallaki Seva Prabandham, Vishnu Pallaki Seva Prabandham, Tyagaraja Vinoda Chitra Prabandham, and Pancharatna Prabandhams. The author has combined the Prabandhas with the Yakshikana tradition and created a new type of Natya Nataka. He named it as Drishya Kavyas. The dramas, written in more than 1 language, was called Manipravala Drishya Kavyas. More than entertainment, they also educated the people, mass, with social awareness, justice, moral ethics, etc. The next one is Krishna Leela Tarangini. Usually we take this as an opera, musical opera, but this was actually danced by Narayana Tirtha. Narayana Tirtha, who composed Krishna Leela Tarangini, he composed it in Sanskrit. Tarangini means ripples in the ocean. The composer has taken Srimad Bhagavatam as the prime source for the stories in this Nataka. This starts with the Krishna Jananam and ends with Rukmani Kalyanam, in between which the complete Krishna Avatara is described. The language is very simple and tilting. The story, many of you know about Narayana Tirtha's story, but those who don't know, I would like to tell it in short, that Narayana Tirtha, an ascetic from Andhra, took a pilgrimage walk up to Tiruvayar, stayed overnight in a village called Nadukavi, where he suffered from a chronic stomach pain. That night, Lord Ganapati appeared in his dream and said that he will find 2 boards in front of the temple. If he follows it, it will reach. Where it reaches, he will be cured of his ailment. Next morning, as per the dream, there were 2 boards in front of the temple where he was staying. Narayana Tirtha blindly followed the boards and came up to a temple in a place called Bhupati Rajapuram in Tanjore district. As soon as Narayana Tirtha reached the temple, the boards disappeared. Narayana Tirtha got cured of his illness. As a token of gratitude, Narayana Tirtha decided to stay back in that place. Bhupati Rajapuram has a mythological story as well attached to this temple. It was already a very famous temple. Narayana Tirtha built a beautiful temple there with the idols of Venkatachalapati, Upayanachiyar, and installed Lakshmi Narasimha in the Sanctum Sanctorum. People in that village felt very blessed with the presence of the great saint. He composed and compiled Krishna Leela Tarangini and taught the songs and the corresponding dance movements to many Bhagavatas in and around that village. And they used to dance for these songs. So this was like a dance drama. The next one in Tamil is the Ramanataka. In Tamil Nadu, the very name Ramanataka is attributed to the author Arunachala Kavirayar. This Nataka consists of beautiful kirtanas. He sang this Ramanataka for the first time in the temple of Srirangam. This Arangetram of this Ramanataka was in Srirangam. And that Mandapam where he did his first debut is still called the Ramayana Mandapam. And his first performance was presided by King Tulaja of Tanjore. This Nataka has Todai Mangalams, Churnikas, Darus, Dvipadams, Viruttams, and many more features. We do not get evidence regarding the performance of this Nataka as a dance form during those days. However, presently, all the songs from these Nataka are presented by the Bharatanatyam artists in solo, as well as some have done even dance drama with these songs. The next new thing which was composed during this Maratha period was Nirupanas by King Sarfoji. This was a very innovative idea, and a solo dancer will enact all the characters appearing in the story. This is like solo dancer during a dance drama and project through her Abhinaya skills. This is a platform for experienced dancers to exhibit their talent in this form of Nataka. Each Nirupana consists of 18 songs within which a story is woven from mythology. All the 18 songs which comprises of a Nirupana is set in one raga and one tala. So likewise, many dance dramas where emerged, new ones as well as the indigenous ones were very popular during this time. Tanjore has produced many artistic productions in the 5 languages: Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Marathi, and Sanskrit, and particularly more in Telugu. The reason being, Telugu was the court language for a long time in both Nayak and Maratha period in Tanjore. The spiritual aspect is the fundamental base of the Indian dance form. This gives a divine visual with aesthetics to the onlooker and kindles the innermost joy of the soul. Our Indian arts have a long history, and the tradition has been nourished over many centuries. History and literary works throw light on the development of art scene throughout Tamil Nadu, and particularly in abundance in Tanjore belt, mainly because of the sustained patronage all these arts, it needs patronage. In Tamil Nadu, this divine tradition is continuing till date with the untiring efforts of and contributions of the present day Bharatanatyam dancers, artists, and teachers. I hope this book will be useful to students and teachers from the point of both performing and academic interest. Thank you. Lavanya, you're muted.
Yes, ma'am. Yes. Sure. Okay. So, thank you, ma'am. That was an enlightening speech. Now, I'd like to request Dr. Kalaimamani Srilata Vinod, ma'am, to speak a few words. Before that, I'd like to introduce her to you. Again, she also doesn't need introduction. She's a very, very known person to us, but still, I take a pleasure of speaking a few words about her. Dr. Srilata Vinod is a founder director of Antara Center for Performing Art, founder member and president of Prayatnam, Chennai. And, I'm more keen about her academic pursuits. She's a double MA in history and Bharatanatyam, and she has a doctorate from Tamil University. She's a guest lecturer at Madras University and Tamil Nadu J. Jayalalitha Music and Fine Arts University. And she's been, let me talk about her training. She's been trained under Tanjore Arnachalam Pillai, Dhananjayans. It's a huge, very prestigious list. Srimati Kalanidhi Narayan and Bhagavatalu Sitaram Sharma. I welcome Srilata ma'am to speak a few words about the book.
Namaskaram. Thank you, Lavanya. It is indeed a very, very honorable and blessed moment to speak about a person who I value very close to my heart. Kalarani Akka is not just a teacher and a mentor to me, but a wonderful and a genuine human being. Today we are here to speak about her book, so let me just focus about that. This particular book should have been released a long time ago. She has been speaking about it for quite a while, and we have had so many conversations about when and how this was going to come out. Nevertheless, it has come out on a very, very prestigious platform, ICDA, and it has also come at a time when we need a lot of positivity happening for us and making us move to go further. This kind of motivation is rare in today's day and age, and it is so inspiring to see her come out with these various useful references, not just for a student of dance, but also for somebody who delves into interdisciplinary work. That is the key factor in all her books, whether it was just an introduction to Bharatanatyam in Tamil Nadu, or whether it was this particular book that we are launching today in English, the dance dramas of Tanjore. All of them gave such a detailed account of both chronology, history, as well as the typical and specific related matters concerning compositions and composers. this detailed work was made possible only because of her interest, her wonderful training under such stalwarts. It was she who put me on to the late Dr. Venkatraman, whom I consulted just before my PhD work. All these people who have gone into not just sharing ideas, but for kindling certain very, very specific points that she has brought out. One thing that was very special about this book was that you could see everything in a chronological mode, right from the time of the Choras, because you're talking about the Tanjore belt and something that was very specific. Of course, we have a lot of Sangam literature, but we're talking of dance dramas and the documented versions of the dance dramas. So all of the works of the Choras, the Nayakas and the Marathas have been brought down in chronological form. The languages that was given so much of importance has seen special mention in this book, because she has also arranged the dance dramas in such a way that it falls under the categories of the different languages. Of course, the main accent was to also give a lot of importance to Tamil, since that is the language of this state today. But she mentioned the court language being Telugu. A lot of the dance dramas were written in Telugu. Of course, Sanskrit was always there as a parallel tradition. Marathi, because it was the native language of the Maratha rulers. And therefore, Hindi was also introduced with us a little bit of Urdu. So all of this is an excellent reference for students and teachers. And every year when we teach at the universities, students keep asking us for topics for their dissertation. All they need to do is take a peek and get inspired by all the different aspects, whether it is a composer, whether it is a composition, whether it is an entire dance drama, common, rare, or belonging to more than one genre. The variety is endless, and they just need to pick up a book to get inspired and motivated and pick on topics. This is also worthy of mention because she has enlisted very rare compositions and dance dramas, especially the ones that, I was also working along with her on a particular dance drama. We had just embarked on that. Some of the rare ones have been featured, and it is interesting how she has just condensed the story in very short, so that it will kindle the interest for the reader to pick it up and then look at the main text and look and choose from whatever they want to pick out. The Ganga Kaveri Samvadam, then the very interesting 5 languages one, Tyagaraja Vinoda Chitra Prabandham. These are very noteworthy ones. Of course, there are more Marathi compositions that have yet to see the light of day, and it will be really interesting to work on those kind of compositions, whether it is the Rukmini Satyabhama Samvada or the Krishna Leela Vilasam. The Mrityunjaya Chiranjeevi Natakam, it's an ordinary thing of Markandeya, and yet the way it is constructed and the progression of the story, the way she has compiled it and brought it in such a short and concise manner is so worthy of mention. Of course, she has all of the texts as well. So very interested students and teachers can approach her and get guidance for pursuing it even further. The Manipravala ones that she has chosen, the Tyagaraja Vinoda Chitra Prabandham, is so unique because you will find one character speaking constantly in Sanskrit, while there is a kind of a question answer session where the others would speak in the other languages. This kind of dance drama is quite unique and has not been seen of late. It's usually either a multilingual right through scene by scene, or where it is only in one language. But to see an interspersed version of the languages in the course of a dialogue and conversation is something unique of this period, which she has rightly brought in in and highlighted in this particular work. This has already seen a publication in the Tamil version that she mentioned, but to have it in English is very, very useful for those who are not able to read in Tamil and yet want to understand more about it. So we really look forward not just to seeing this particular book, but I know she is in the process of doing so much more. I'm looking forward to the other books as well, Kalaka. So with this, I really, really wish her congratulate her on this wonderful event and wish her that she never stops writing and she keeps doing this. Thank you for this opportunity, ICDA, Lavanya, for having done such a wonderful introduction, and of course, Gopakumar sir for coordinating this. Thank you so much. Namaskaram.
Thank you. Lavanya, you're muted.
Yes, ma'am. So my next introduction is about, just a minute, ma'am. Let me remove your spotlight as well. Okay. All right. I'd like to introduce Dr. Lakshmi Ramaswamy. The pleasure of doing such programs is we get to introduce a lot of stalwarts, and in Tamil we say "Poovoda sendu naarum manakattum," like that. I'm feeling very fortunate to just talk about a few words and introduce all of you and be associated with you for a longer term. Dr. Lakshmi Ramaswamy is the founder director of Sri Mudralaya. She has been fortunate to learn various aspects of Bharatanatyam from great gurus. Oh my God, when I was compiling this list, I was like, wow feeling. Dr. Padma Subramaniam, Padma Shri Chitra Vishweshwaran, Padma Bhushan Kalanidhi Narayan, and for Tamil text, she has been very closely associated with Dr. Raghuraman. She has authored a book called Shall We Now Natya. Very happy to welcome you, ma'am. Please share your thoughts about the book.
Good evening and namaskaram to everyone gathered here. My first thanks to Kalarani ma'am to have even told me to do this. I mean, it's such a pleasure being her student, and I'm sitting here to talk about her book. I would just want to share a small anecdote. I met her first in the Madras University, and she was the lecturer to take dance history. A child at heart she is, and she instantly clicked with her smile with all of us. And one of the projects that she gave us was to write about the Nayak period works. And as we were browsing and putting together, and when I compiled my project and I gave it to her, at the first instance, she noticed it and said, I told you Nayak period, but the painting on the outside is a Maratha period. So, and that triggered my mind, and I was like, oh, Nayak period painting and Maratha period painting, because many of us were not like strict academicians in that way. When we started our careers, I was a dancer happily dancing. I never thought I will speak on dance, write on dance, do presentations, nothing. But the Madras University gave me this beautiful new window or a door for me to open to do my master's in Bharatanatyam. And I had the beautiful connection with Kalarani ma'am from then onwards. It has been more than 10 years now. And she's such an open person to any time, with open hands, welcome anybody for any help or question or anything. Without much ado, I will get into the book. And it's so nice to also have my lovelies and besties, Srilata and Sashi, along with me talking about this book. Thank you, ICDA, for inviting me and putting me along with these beautiful people in this lovely evening of the book launch. One of the earlier books of Kalarani ma'am has been a very good introduction to us for history. As ma'am rightly said, we have a real long history. Take the Sangamage works, look at the Silapadikaram, look at the Chola period, look at the Nayak period. There has been compositions, and this art has been like so huge. We have a history of 2,000, 5,000 years, and a beautiful transition from time to time with language, with kings, with various beauties. Even one of those pictures which ma'am put for Kuravanji is such a beautiful one. I have noticed the ones, yes, you should see the kuda in the hand. That is the best part of that. And even the jewelry, you can see how much these sculptures, they show in fact, there's a beautiful footwear also in one of those sculptures where you can see. So, everything. So how beautiful our people have thought the culture which has evolved through the time. As ma'am rightly introduced, the storytelling tradition of ours is such a vast and long centuries and millenniums that we have in the storytelling traditions. And from Kuttu to Natya to Natya Nadaka, she has also included all the other genres possible, like the Gaya Nataka, the Vilasa Natakams, and Bhagavatam Mela, Yakshaganas, Kuravanjis. When we look at the list of Prabandham literatures that are available with us, we have more than 96 type of Prabandham literature in Tamil and other languages. Especially in Tamil, we have the Sadakam, Pillaikavi, Parani, Kalambagam, Agappurul Kovai, Aindinai Chayul, and so many other varieties. You have so many that we have various varieties, and all of them, even though they are called as literature, I always believe, like ma'am rightly pointed out, they were all written for music, dance, and theatre together. We had this beautiful connection. One was not separate with the other. It's not like literature separate, music separate, dance separate. No, we have always had this combined one into one. Even Tamil, we call it as Muttamil. Iyalisai, Nadagam put together. And this dance drama tradition is such a beautiful thing which brings everything together. And if we look at all these, the Maratha period contributions or the Nayak period contributions, we have so many, not only from the classical idiom, we also have the other ones, like the Terukuthus, where we have the Sirutunda Nayanar Puranam, Rukmangbada Bhagavatam Mela, Draupadi Amman Kuttu, and many others which are also parallelly, along with the classical idiom, we also have the Terukuthu and other things which have again run through centuries. Ma'am has done a very, very, very beautiful work. I mean, her first book is again one of my favorite. If somebody looks at my book, they will know how many pages are like soiled, because I've turned those pages many times over and over to know and learn it. And when we did the Natyamrita Mandan lecture series in 2019, especially for the master students of Bharatanatyam, ma'am was kind enough to again present her Nayak period work as one of the lectures, and it was so appreciated by each and every student and dancer who was present. In this current book, I don't want to repeat what Shri has already said. So I'm just trying to put other things which come into my mind. Even the Jakkinis, all those I only wonder, why did we lose some traditions? The Jakkinis or the Hela Padams and all these, we have lost the performance tradition, even though we have every literature word intact. I only wish all these videos and digital were there before centuries, so that we still have the history intact with us, and we still cherish every bit of that has been very well nourished by our kings together. So along with this, she has beautifully put, and also including the Ramanataka Kirtane, I liked it so much. And then beautifully transiting from one to next, and then the last with finishing with the Nirupanam. Nirupanams are very beautiful. That I would call them as a thematic solo presentations. And the list of the items, we have lost many. We today call as a Margam and still do one Kavadi Chindu. We have put many things away. We have also put many things inside. And this is such a treasurable book. I would want every student of dance, every teacher of dance to have this book and have the history, because she has painstakingly done the chronology, like rightly mentioned by Lata, the transition from period to period, the various things which are put together. And we have not lost the crux of the connection of all the dance dramas, which is the spiritual intent, which has been running through, besides being, Indra wanted Bharata to say, Kriya Nidagam Ichamu. We want something entertaining, but it should also keep people channelized with proper things. So I think from those Indra times, we have still connected with the spiritual connect along with the storytelling mode, and keeping people, elevating people, and giving nice thoughts through these dance dramas. I was very happy, and when I got the book from morning to night, I tried to, first know so that I am able to talk about it, at least some of those which ma'am has put with a lot of effort. I'm very happy that it's already in Tamil and it is also now in English. So many people would really going to be making use of this. And those of you who are looking for your projects, what do I do in my MA or what do I do my PhD? Just turn ma'am's pages, books, and you will get so many ideas to take it up as a project, to do a production or a project or a PhD. It's such a beautiful guide. Thank you, ma'am, for still keeping this interest of writing, and inspiring students like us. And any time when we start the MA class, I recommend certain books saying you should have this, whatever it is, so that you know a proper history. And definitely there was earlier one in the list, and now it is going to be 2, and I'm looking forward for even more. And ma'am, personally, I had 2 questions. I will be very happy if you are able to throw a light on that. One is, we talk about the king's writing literature. With all those political things happening around them, would you really think these kings had time to write all these literature is one question. And the other one, I was so intrigued by seeing this yogi character in every, most of these dance dramas had this one Siddha yogi or one Nava yogi characters. That yogi character was very, very interesting for me. Could you please throw a little more light on these 2 aspects, please?
This actually, these kings, they actually didn't have much in the Tanjore belt. Not much war was there for them to fight or to get busy with their. But it was only the administrative work. So most of the time they were sitting with the poets and dance, and the dance, they spent all the money in that. The Kasana became Kali in that itself. But although we say how Swati Tirunal wrote in such a short span, how did he write? They were all very well versed in all these things. So it was just spontaneous, some of them, which the other kavis or other poets used to write it and put their name. And some of the literatures, it was not written by them, but the poets or the other scholars, they wrote and they gave the name of the king, just out of love and affection or whatever the reason might be. So that way we get abundance. Some of them, yes, they have done it. But obviously, they would have consulted, they would have been a Sadas kind of a thing where, a lot of musicians, dancers, along with them only he would have composed. He would have got inspiration from that, or, he would have discussed on certain points and probably composed. We don't know the scene, how it was, but definitely his name is there now in the history. That one thing. About the Siddha Yogi, yes. Probably they thought the Siddha, instead of Kuravanji, Siddha Yogi is used. So if they put Kuravanji there, then it becomes like, it'll become a Kuravanji Natakam. Whereas in an ordinary dance drama, they want to put somebody in that who will bridge between the hero and the heroine. He has to be as a messenger to both of them. So who will do this work? Just a Saki means it is not very, the Saki is always very playful or helpful with the heroine. So that is why they have put the Siddha Yogi in a couple of dance dramas where he is very religious and he is where, he goes around to a lot of places. The Saki does not travel a lot. Whereas the Siddha Yogi, just like Kuravanji, Kurati, he travels a lot. So they want to incorporate a lot of other informations, for the society, about the lot of, law points, a lot of things they want to educate the people. So that is why they have put the Siddha Yogi there, just in the place of Kurati. I think it should be like that.
Thank you, ma'am. Because when we read poems like Ashtapati, we quite often say that the heroine is a Jivatma and the god is the Paramatma. And the Saki takes the role of connecting. Yes. Here I find instead of the Saki, this yogi has been there in almost all the marriage stories. And he has been connecting.
Jayadeva's Ashtapati, it is only the Jivatma Paramatma connecting. She's not going around the world to educate people with a lot of other things. Whereas here in a dance drama, that is what they want to do. So they want a character who goes around.
Okay.
Unlike
okay.
other people. There, Sakhi does only this work.
Okay.
She's only a messenger.
Yeah, but he seems to do the messenger job also, and also connect the heroine with the king or something like that. That is also there. In between, he also gives the philosophical thoughts for the people who are watching or something like that. So it more roles with one person. So that was very interesting. That was very interesting to me. I have never known this particular character for so long, and your book has given me this particular opening. And I like this particular one which you have mentioned, beautiful, of the Tamil Nayam. You have said this. Tadikkum uttiyil, adikkum alayinil, nadikkum amadana naadage, vedikkum marumalar, todukkum nal todai. That looks very, very beautiful to, the rhythm aspect automatically inbuilt into the poem.
The tala is inbuilt into that.
Exactly. It is so beautiful. Thank you, ma'am, so much. Thank you, Gopakumar sir, for giving me this opportunity. Thank you, ICDA. Thank you, Lavanya, and to each and everyone here. And please keep writing and inspiring all of us. Thank you, ma'am.
Sure.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Now I'd like to introduce Dr. Shashireka Rammohan. She's a founder director of Kanaga Sabai School of Bharatanatyam. She has done extensive research and won her doctorate in the essence of Natvangam. I hope you all remember she gave a talk which was attended by 170 participants, and it was amazing. And her eminent gurus, again, the list is awesome, include Tanjore Arunachalam Pillai, Srimati Jayalakshmi Arunachalam, Srimati Kalanidhi Narayanan, and Padma Shri Chitra Vishweshwaran. Ma'am, I had to cut short a few Natwanars from whom you had learned. Apologies for that. So this is a huge list. So I'd like to request Dr. Shashireka to take over the stage, please.
Namaskaram to everyone. What should I say? It is indeed a great blessing to be even invited to be part of this function. Is it better now?
It's clear.
My first point is about the organizer Gopakumar sir. In this pandemic, I have been listening to so many lectures organized by him. And then it was discussion with people in the key posts of Sangeet Natak academies and so on. And then he gave us a task to conduct this. And today it is a book launch function. And everything is international. So thanks to you, sir. All these great lectures and lecture demonstrations are a booster to motivate us during this pandemic. And Kalarani ma'am, Muttamil Nayagi is what comes to my mind. Because in the book, ma'am, it was a beautiful Tamil, the book that you had given to us. And so many musical forms with the ragas and everything listed out in the dance dramas. Many of the teachers in my generation and the next generation have a huge, I would say, space to cover. You have a great knowledge in music, so it is a wonderful presentation in the book that we learned so much about the music and dance prevalent in those times. Srilataka and Lakshmi, whenever I have doubts, I always call them. And today, they said that Kalarani ma'am is their inspiration. Yes, I bought the book Bharatanatyam in Tamil Nadu when I ventured into my doctoral research. And today I can't believe, how God has, put me in different steps and slow baby steps to reach a place to even talk about me. It is a great honor, ma'am. Thank you for that.
Welcome.
I really enjoyed the book, but since I got it only 2 days back, I have not completed the entire book. But I have many questions or,
Sure.
which you can, explain today or
Sure.
bring out YouTube videos or something so useful because Sagadai Kottigal, So it was a very new term that I learned from this book. I have not heard it before. What is it, ma'am? You have said it is 6 group of dancers.
Yeah. Group dance. They were called Sagadai Kuttigal. Appo Kurturda. Appo.
And
They were called the Sagadai Kuttigal. Kuyuluva Karvigal means the classical orchestra with classical music.
Yeah.
Who plays classical music? Pardon?
Yeah. And then, of course, it was a beautiful opportunity to learn about the different Dharu, Samvada Dharu, Kaivara Dharu, Sharanu Dharu, Salamu Dharu, Jagat Dharu, Manipravala Dharu, and so on. And Shahaji, he has been a great king, but he has also been a king who has written about, and who is also the hero of many Prabandhas. And also, it gave us a light to see how those kings who are Marathas, who have written in Tamil to cater to the people of Tamil Nadu.
Yes.
And also written in Marathi.
Yes.
So, for the Tamilians or the people to be accepted. And how they had beautifully intertwined both. And this Manipravala, it talks about the Telugu and Sanskrit as well. How open-minded and how broad-minded they were, and how they adapted everything and made it their own.
Yes,
that was wonderful. You had talked about Salamu Dharu.
Yes.
And Salamu Dharu. Is it
Salam?
Yeah,
Salam.
But in many places it says Salamu Dharu. Is it the same?
Salamu Re. It will come as Salamu Salam because Telugu Salamu Re. They make the this Urdu word into a Telugu thing, Salamu Re. So like that. Otherwise, it's Salam Dharu. Straight Salam Dharu.
And it was also very interesting to note that Padam was danced at the end of the. So what is that?
There are 2 Padams. One is Abhinaya Padam, one is regular Padam. And in Nirupanas, one is dance at the end.
And Thodayamangalam, I saw that it was mostly done in Nate and Jampatala.
No, mostly they are like that. And some of the Todayams are in one language, the Sharanu, Todayams and all. And that is repeated in most of the dance dramas. Lakshmi, you were asking me that how come they are doing so many dance dramas, Anyway, Todayams are ready. Sharanu Darus are ready. Then it is only the Pravesha Darus that will also be ready. So only the main body has to be written. So I think that they can do every week one dance drama.
I will here to ask you many questions so that people who are attending this lecture also learn a lot.
You're always welcome to ask questions.
And Chanda Virittangal in Bhagavati Parinayam. What is it, ma'am? Is it the same like what we see in
that is Chanda Vrittam means the Virittam Madri just without Tala they will sing, but it will have the Chanda means for example, like Alaga adoda adu connect pannum. Chanda, like very poetically it will come, like
inbuilt rhythm madriya.
Inbuilt rhythm madri varum.
We hear about the chandams which have an inbuilt rhythm, but here it says Chanda Virittangal.
Virittam, inbuilt rhythm is adula andha mari avla alaga and virithathula paanna kuda and the words vandu avla alaga varudhu adula.
Plus they followed the meters. Meters were given a lot of importance.
Yeah, and my favorite was Parvati Parinayam. And Tyagaraja Vinoda Chitra Nadana Samvada.
Chitra Prabandham. That is Shankara Kali Natana Samvada Nataka. That is another name for that is Shankara Kali Natana Samvada Nataka.
So here, why it was my favorite was they are discussing about whether the dance Deva Nadanam or Raja Nadanam or Desi Nadanam.
Desi Nadanam. Which one to dance? Because they both are going to have competition, Kali and Shiva. So they choose the Desi Nadanam.
Yeah, that is so very interesting to note, because Desi Nadanam was the most, a popular one.
Very popular.
Yeah, I would like to read this if you have it, because you have said it has lot of jatis and swarams, and one daru has 30 talas.
Not only like that. One daru describes completely about birds. One daru describes completely about flowers. Another one describes about navagrahas. Another one describes about rasis. So that way, they educate so many things in each and every
song. I was wondering if Mahabharata Chudamani, the book came after this, to explain all this that has been, performed in this.
Yes.
Maybe, right, ma'am? Because
maybe because Mahabharata Chudamani, the date, we don't know exactly which is the date. It could be contemporary or it could be later. So that is why.
Yeah, and my question Lakshmi had already asked, the Sita Kalyanamu and Sita Kalyanam.
Sita Kalyanamu is Yakshikana in Telugu.
Yeah.
Sita Kalyanam also. See, that is the same thing.
And I also saw that the Vinayaka Kautvam is mentioned. So was the Kautvam taken, that particular Vinayaka Kautvam, is it the same as the Ganapati Kautvam, which is done as ritual, or it is separate?
Where it has been mentioned, in which drama or which place?
In Bhagavatam Mela.
Bhagavatam Mela, that is Vinayaka Daru. Daru is different. Vinayaka Daru is different from our Kautvam. From our Ganesha Kautvam, it is different. In Bhagavatam, because any dance drama, they'll have Vinayaka Daru. In the Maratha period, because Lord Vinayaka, without praying to Lord Vinayaka, they will not start anything. So Vinayaka Daru is a very important one.
Shankara Pallaki Seva Prabandham, you have mentioned the Ganapati Kautvam.
Maybe they did something new, but that is different from this Vinayaka Daru.
Okay. And you had also mentioned about Alaru.
Alaru is like, Alaripu later, but Alaru, they do it in a different way. That is not the same Alaripu what we do.
So my request is this to ma'am, to bring out an audio video book that can, talk about the historical origins and how it has evolved through the years. That will be very handy for all the researchers.
Yes. Yeah, there should be an audio to do that.
Yeah, how the same terminology, it has different connotations in the different time period.
Yes. We should.
I have done a lot of snake dance. And I was so happy to see that the Rukmani Kalyana Nataka, they had included the Korathi, Vidu and in Prahalada, they had included snake dance and wrestling, because they wanted to reach out to the audience.
Bring in some change in that, some folk element to interest the audience.
It is known as oriented dances, because in my Arangetram, I had done snake dance, Korathi, and it was a 3
Even I have done snake dance, Korathi, everything in my solo repertoire. When I was
and nowadays dancing, we don't see that in the Marga
because the time span is so small, very short. It's not 2 hours, 3 hours. I used to dance for 3 hours. My programs used to be for 3 hours, but now only for 1 hour.
So thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this wonderful function. Your book has been a great source of inspiration.
Thank you.
And I look forward to audio, video book.
Sure. Good idea you gave me. I'll do that.
Thank you, Lavanya Shivra.
Thank you.
Actually, I did not know that I was one of the speakers today.
Really? That's a good one. So nice.
She threw a surprise at me. Thank you so much.
Good.
Thanks
good.
for the support.
So we are coming to the next section. this is a section where the host gets to speak, and that's something very like I thank ma'am for giving me this opportunity. So I have been associated with ma'am for quite a long time as a student, but this particular association has been very, very eye-opening, because I got a chance to edit the entire book, proofread it multiple times, and like I did not stop with you. In a general editor scenario, we just receive content and then we go about, okay, is it grammatically correct, not correct, and then dot the i's, strike the t's, and stop there. But with ma'am, like I took the extra privilege of already this is an awe moment, and every time there was, oh, there was a Bhagavatam Mela in Tepermanallur. Oh, there was one in Saliamangalam. Oh, this, oh, that. Because knowledge as such is very limited for any human being, right? So when we get to read the book again and again and again, and sit with ma'am and listen to all her stories, the background behind this entire write-up, it was an amazing experience. And it used to happen in most of my nights for 2 hours, 3 hours, happily sit with ma'am, go through the corrections. And, as an editor, it's very important to maintain ma'am's language, because the author's flavor has to come out, and yet incorporate a little bit of changes, but suggest them, because like I may not know the context, ma'am knows it. So it was wonderful experience. As everybody is pointing out, ma'am, you have to write more, and I should be the editor for all of them.
Okay, sure.
Oh, this is a new way of saying, right? In this forum, I'd like to record the fact.
First, register and record. I will not say no later on. All my other students also would want to. That is why she said.
I'm taking it. Otherwise, it's very difficult for me to read even a single page. That's how we started. It was very funny when I told ma'am, please, ma'am, let me edit it. Otherwise, I won't read it. So now I have read it so many times and so happy.
Yes.
So with this, we come to an end of the talks, and I'd like to open the floor for questions. So let me just quickly run through the chat if I have.
I think Sashi Rekha has already asked many questions. Maybe from the audience, she read the mind of the audience. And if there is any one or two, if they have written to you already, okay, I'll answer that.
Sure.
Because it shouldn't be late for the others.
So the question is about who is the publisher of the book and where can it be purchased. At the end of the presentation, I'll just share the screen, and I'll also share, this presentation is being recorded. It will be shared to all the members. The last slide will definitely have details about from where you can purchase the online version or the paperback version. That is one question. Sorry, ma'am, I answered it myself.
Yes, fine.
I'm just quickly seeing any other questions are there. There is a question. I'm a beginner to these academic readings. Could you please tell me what a daru means?
Daru is like a song. Daru is a song. And that song, it will have certain features. So they call it Daru. In Daru itself, with different features like Jakkani Daru or Samvada Daru or, Salam Daru, they say. So the certain words, key words or key features, if it is there, then along with that, they add Daru. So that is how it was. Now, we don't use the word Daru at all for anything. So that's
Mate Malayat Pajamate.
That is a Taru Varanam. Daru Varanam.
I was wondering whether it was taken from Parvati Parinai.
Maybe the Daru has come forward in the front because it's not Varnam Daru, it's Daru Varanam. Mutya Bhagavatam dane? Yes. In Varnam, it is Thana Varnam, Pada Varnam, and Taru Varnam. Because it is short, it doesn't have, it's not having the Pada Varnam features as such, in that. Nor Thana Varnam. It's slightly difference in between the Thana Varnam and this. That is why it's called the Daru Varnam. It is Daru only, the same Daru name. Yes. So it is very interesting.
So I'm just seeing, ma'am, the question about Daru, Lakshmi Ramaswamy, ma'am, has also answered that in the chat box. Thank you so much, ma'am. And now I have come to the, I've read through all the questions. If there are any more live questions, people can ask.
I would like to say few words. Yes. I think the questions are over. Is it?
Questions in the chat box are over, ma'am. If there are a couple of people.
Anybody wants to ask? Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody to ask? They must be tired listening to so many things, probably. Okay.
Madam, the best idea for this audio video version is that you can start a YouTube channel and then you can have episodes. So that when the whole thing is over, it will be just like the full episode, all the full episodes. You can have 30 episodes or so. So that will be a great thing. So anyhow, you are doing every episode maybe 30 minutes. So that if you can start a YouTube channel, it will have more viewership. You can have a lot of all over the world people will see it, and if you have more subscribers, you will be benefited also. So that will be the best idea for the audio video recording.
I am not very good.
Actually, I was actually planning to, request ma'am for the talk in our Prayathan YouTube channel. And,
I see. I see. Okay. Because I am not techie, to be very frank.
No problem. Somebody else will do the work for you.
Yeah, please. If somebody else does, then I am ready to do anything.
I'm there.
See, Lavanya is ever ready for all these things. Anyway, it was a lovely evening. I thank Mr. Gopakumar for giving me an opportunity to launch my book and talk about it also in this forum. This is a wonderful forum to interact with many dancers across the globe. I congratulate Mr. Gopakumar and his team for keeping it lively with interesting programs every week. It's very interesting. I must mention the young dancers, research scholars, professors who shared their perspective views about the book. Is very useful to me and gives me encouragement to research more and write more books. Thank you very much, Lakshmi, Srilata, and Sashireka for sharing your valuable views, and it was very lovely. I enjoyed working with Lavanya in editing this book. We had a lot of, I think, laughing moments, I must say, and she spent a lot of time in helping me. I appreciate her love and affection. My blessings and best wishes to her. She's a very devoted student. I once again thank the audience for making this evening wonderful, pleasant, and very memorable. Thank you very much to everybody. Namaskar.
So thank you, Dr. Kalarani Ramachandran.
I would like sir, 1 minute. There is a question coming up. Hold on.
Sorry to interrupt. Somebody is asking where can we buy the book?
Oh yes, she will tell now.
Yeah. Tell
Lavanya, you should have put it, darling, in that.
I'm putting it right now, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Let him finish.
Yeah,
Mr. Gopak.
Yeah. So I want to request all our senior members to write a book, and so that ICDA will take the initiative of publishing it and popularizing it.
Oh, thank you.
No problem for you. So
Yes.
all the senior artists can think of starting the book with the guidance of Kalarani ma'am. So
Oh my
I would like
God.
to, I would like to thank ma'am as well as Srimati Srilata Vinod and Shashirekha Rammohan and our host
Lakshmi
Lavanya.
Lakshmi Ramaswamy and
Lakshmi
Lavanya.
Ramaswamy and our host Lavanya Shivaram, who has done a wonderful job in hosting the program. So we wanted to make a simple function, and as for the guidance of Kalarani ma'am, the function was simple but elegant, and everybody could gather more information. And the book is available on Amazon, so anybody could purchase it. So it's readily available. So even colleges, institutions, academies, all the those who are connected with classical dancers can purchase the book from Amazon. So thank you, participants. Thank you, guests, and thanks to each and every one of you.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank you.
Ma'am, Shashireka ma'am also spoke about Shaji.
Yes, like she was, Lavanya is very fond of Shaji and Sarfoji, more so Shaji. So
Yes.
I said, oh my God, Shaji is like her boyfriend, you know. She's always, she says, I mean, after reading about him, oh my God, I said, thank God. Shaji already had a big hair.
Yes, but he has written in so many varieties and genres. That's the
Varieties.
reason why-
Right. His Rasika Karnamritam is wonderful. All the padams of different flavor. Oh my God. Only thing it's all in Marathi. But very simple Marathi. It's just like Hindi only, that Marathi also. Somewhat we can understand, except some of the words. Mostly one can understand that. Like if you read 2-3 times. Lovely. Thank you, all of you, for coming and talking about the book. Thanks.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Bye.
Namaste, ma'am.
Namaste. Thank you, Sujata. It was
Thank you,
nice
Akka.
of you.
But
I
I
couldn't
could not open
contact
the-
you at all. I would have asked you also to talk.
Yeah,
But
no problem, Akka.
next
Very
book you
happy.
will talk.
Okay. Thank you, Akka.
Okay.
I
Bye.
have your book here. See, this Tamil book.
Oh, I know Tamil book you have. That's what. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Now
Yeah.
in the English book I have written about this Bhagavata Mela of Salyamangalam and Teparma Nallur in detail.
In
With the
detail.
pictures and all. Yeah, in detail about
Yeah.
that. And a lot of other dance forms also in one chapter.
It's very useful, as they said, it's very useful for college students. Because
College
they
students,
have
yes.
to know about these things, and they have these in their
Especially some of the darus, what they say, you know, some darus, they don't have talams at all. And it is where daru, they will say. All those things. Why do they say where daru? Instead of ul daru and veli daru, they say where daru. And some of those, where darus, about that also I have written in the book, that why do they say so, and then why it should be a spontaneous song which they sing just like that, So those kind of things, and about Ananda Kalipu, a musical form called Ananda Kalipu, and very, very interesting, all those things in those dance dramas. Anyway, so all of you please enjoy and let me
Thank
know
you.
feedback about, so that I can improve in the next book. What all I should. Huh?
Narayana Kavi, Shabdam. Is it like the same Shabdam that we are doing as part of the?
No. Shabdam in their connotation is different. Our Shabdam, what we say is different.
Has it evolved or is it entirely different?
Entirely, adliyum jadi எல்லாம் இருக்கு, but அந்த சப்தம் கத்தே வேற. Written by Narayana Kavi, you mean?
I got the Xerox from the Kalachitra library.
It is Narayana Shabdam itself.
It's Narayana Kavi.
Narayana Kavi, அவரோடது காசிநாத கவி நாராயண கவி அவளோட
Kavi, Narayana Kavi. Yes.
அவளோடது சப்தம்.
Yes.
They are different. கொஞ்சம் அதுல ஸ்வரம் எல்லாம் வரும்.
The same question I had when I was editing, ma'am. So I'm very happy. Then I'm like, no, that's a different shabda. Like it's a sort of.
Now she will give a lecture on that.
Long way to go.
Very well.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you and bye.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Good night, sir. Thank you,
Good
sir.
night. Good night.
Good night.